Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome back to another event video here on Marvel Strike Force. Are you ready to unlock Cosmic Ghost Rider? Because his free-to-play event is going to be coming live on Monday at 2 p.m. The Eternal Vengeance event. Now, unfortunately, as I mentioned on the blog post, and I believe a video before that, the showcase for Out of Time, it ran out of time before you were able to unlock Cosmic Ghost Rider free to play. But, it maybe, we'll talk about that, at another time if this is, a sign of things to come as far as free to play activity goes. But, anyways, at least we'll have some, chances to get him unlocked free to play. The event itself doesn't look too bad. We're going to be covering all of that in today's video and letting you know exactly what you need to do to get as many shards as possible for Cosmic Ghost Rider. So if you are ready to go, then let's spoil this down. Now, before we get started with the video, we do need to do the kind of the recap of what's now week 3 of March in terms of where we're at with the month-long milestone. Now, things are looking okay. I mean, it's better than February, right? If you remember that things were pretty bad in February, that they had to do some last-minute adjustments to the points because you weren't able to pass it free to play. So, what that tells me is that they're committed to it being passable free to play. Now, by how much? That's the other question, because so far, if you add basically with all the stuff from week 3, it's okay. With week 4 left, which is the Iron Patriot week next week, we do have there's another Raid Alliance event, Allied Engines with not Symbiotes, Hive Mind, and there'll be some more access there. Now, as far as where I expect the points to land, though, with what we kind of know currently, if you take the kind of week 2, basically, shove that into week 4, we might have a surplus of like 20k. So again, it's not a lot. Like, if you really want to make sure that you get the 800k every month, you basically need to be on top of this 100%. You can't miss that much. And you do need to pass most of the alliance events as well. So if that's not happening with your alliance, then that might explain why you might be short some points by the end of the month. Just some heads up on that. So before we jump too far into Eternal Vengeance, I do want to cover the actual stuff that you get inside the event in terms of what to look out for as far as rewards go. So we do have obviously a lot of Cosmic Ghost Rider shards in the actual milestone itself on the right-hand side here. This is actually going to be pretty important because as far as where you get the shards in this event, it's basically 50-50 as far, maybe like 60-40 in terms of that a lot of it is in the milestone itself here. And then the rest of it is through the arena rank payout, which is going to be the main bulk of the event outside of the web milestone. So in terms of other things in here for newer players, there's actually a pretty good amount. I know I shouldn't be bringing this up, but silver promo credits only because of my my boosted baby account. These are things that we do actually look at, for newer players. So silver promo credits is in here, and then there's some gold promo, and I don't know if the gold promos show up again. They do down here, which some players will get. I'll probably get this, but yeah, don't expect too much. These Black Knight shards is only going to be for those players who are really high up there in the arena rank. And we're talking probably like regularly top 20. Anything beyond that, I wouldn't expect to pass this milestone. It is milestone 16. Usually whalestones kick in by about the last 5, sometimes worse depending on the event. It varies from event to event. But yeah, don't expect the Black Knight shards for average players. But for everyone else, I think the rest of it should be reasonably obtainable. I say reasonably, and we'll find out whether or not that's the case. Now, there is a leaderboard attached to this event as well, and this will result in, if you happen to be landing in the top 1 to 3%, I'm surprised that they're actually giving away G19 minis because that actually has a significant value. So there's 60 G19 Mystic minis there up for grabs, and just to let you know, each of them costs 400,000 gold. And so that's a lot, actually. That's like 24 million gold worth of red gear buys, from that 1 to 3%. So if you're able to push for that, that I mean, how are you going to push for it? I mean, there's not much you can do, right? Just competing better in the arena, I think, is the only way that separates you from the other players. So I guess it is what it is there. It's going to be a slim margin, I think, in those percent brackets. And those 5 red gear orbs are really not going to be much. So it's all coming down to this Shogoth Ichor and Celestial Lattice. There is a good decent amount of blue 5 ions there as well. Anything 4 to 10% or lower does not get any red gear. And then there is the web milestone. There is a little bit of confusion beyond the around this, mostly because of what envoys have said as well, is that they're not sure whether or not this is correct either. I brought this up in my blog post on Friday, mostly because it's 4,400 points for the week, and you get 10 points for battling in a blitz. This is a very low amount of blitzes. This is, if you were to ignore the incursion energy completely, that's 440 blitzes, which is maybe less. It's less than 10 blitz rotations at 50 teams. So, it's a very low amount of blitzing for a weekly based web milestone. And so that's why I'm a little bit skeptical whether or not this is the case. So I'm going to put this up right now. Where's my subject to change button, which is not on this anyways. It's over on this side. So, I'm not sure if the web milestone is what we're going to get in game. And so that's something that I'll keep an eye on. And if it's worth updating, I will do that on my Discord server. This tends to be where I update these kind of things and let people know what's going on. So if you're not a member of the Discord server community, then make sure that you are, so that you can keep up to date 100% to all things that change in this game, because it does happen from time to time. So let's jump back into the event itself. So Eternal Vengeance is a 7-day event. It involves primarily arena battles. There is points for war. Sorry, not arena battles, just doing well in arena, doing war battles, and then, like I said, blitzing and incursion energy. But realistically, if the points stay the same, it's pretty much just blitzing, because it's very easy to do. You could spend incursion energy, but even for like newer players, it's probably a bit more friendly just to do the blitz side of things. Anyways, total milestone points required for this event is 140,000. In terms of where you need to get to for the event item, it's 42,000, which is pretty good as long as we're able to collect all of the stuff that's mentioned on the web milestone. If those numbers change, things might get a little bit trickier, but probably not. You get 78,000 event currency plus the Cosmic Tire event item. There is 105 Cosmic Ghost Rider shards in the milestone total, but in terms of the expectations, I think probably just around 80, which is at the 60,000 milestone point mark. After that, as you saw over on this one down here, there was like 25 down here on milestone 18, which is not, it's quite far out of reach. So it's probably not happening. Free claims, we don't know yet. I normally post this full event chart on my Discord server the day the event goes, or the time the day the event goes live. That way I can check the web store. I can, put in the free claims. Usually it's like 500 points per day, or, I guess 3,500 over the week. Sometimes they're generous and they give a little bit more. It could be orb fragments. It could be direct milestone points. This varies, so I can't really tell. But, it's not going to be super significant probably. So total web milestone points is 20,000 towards the main milestone event. This is 14,000 milestone points directly and 6,000 orb fragments, or 3 orbs of Cosmic Ghost Rider shards that will end up opening. As far as who else is in that orb, I'm not really sure. I mean, maybe it's just him. It could be because I think past orbs were maybe just the character with depending on the estimated value, is a bit iffy, usually 4 to 5 per orb, and with like some teal gear on the side, or maybe some gold on the side. Sometimes that's happened too, so kind of expect like that. Again, like I said, the web milestone is doable in 440 blitz battles total, or approximately, actually it's more like 9 rotations, but just for the sake of rounding up, I'm going to say 10. So again, if that stays the same, it's not that challenging. You do get 24,000 points for battling in war. That's going to be 24 war battles in the week, or 8 per war, which should be more than easy enough to do. Even for new players, you can get this done in 2 wars, and if you do 12 attacks, if you want to get that done early on for whatever milestone reasons, I suppose. And then you get points for the rest of it is through the orb fragments. Now, as far as I'm aware, and what I've been told, is that the event payouts, the arena rank payouts, is the same as what it was for Gwenum, which was, I don't know, maybe about 2 months ago now, in January sometime. So you can see the payouts down here. It's a very similar event overall. The structure of this event is almost identical to the Gwenum event, like the amount of the milestone points and the how you do the event itself. Gwenum's event also gave points for battling in war, so it almost feels like they did a copy and paste a little bit of the Gwenum event with a few small tweaks. But the shard gains were the same. It was like 8, all this stuff here with the total shards. This is the same for Gwenum. So it basically looked like they copy and pasted it. But here is the arena rank payout chart here. Now you do, if you're in the top 5, you can see it here. It's like within 4,000 plus fragments per day, or 2-ish orbs per day. If you're top 100, you're going to get 1.5 orbs per day. If you're top 500, you'll get 1 orb per day. So it does vary a little bit. As far as the grand scheme of things go, though, you're not going to be getting a 4-star out of this event unless, maybe you're super lucky. Maybe there's a jackpot of 20 to 25 shards per orb and you pull that a couple of times. Then maybe you'll do it. But the majority of us are not seeing 4-star. That just doesn't really happen anymore, right? And the reason why I wanted to point this out is that things have changed, since they were before, because now we have the showcase event. And I'm just going to show the Cabal showcase just as an example, right? Because we do have that 4 yellow star requirement now for the difficulty here. And that's not designed to be done free to play. So long gone are the days of like having a 4-star free to play by the end of the event, because they also do have a pass typically. And so you won't really get that 4-star until after the pass goes live. So that's just kind of the expectations now for character release events, is that, yeah, you'll probably be landing somewhere between the 3.5 star range for these events. So the total reasonable amount of points that you'll probably get out of this, if you're, say, top 500 arena rank, I wanted to do 2 different scenarios here, will get you to about 58,000. So that's going to be, the 2,000 times 7 days. And then you're going to add the 24,000 from the war battles, 20,000 from the web milestone. And this does not include the free claims. And so that's going to give you about 58,000 points, which is approximately milestone 15. It's almost 15. It'll be 15 with the free claim. So where does that get you? Well, milestone 15 down here is those extra 20 Cosmic Ghost Rider shards. But you can see that it's not quite the Black Knight. It's 60,000. You need 70,000 for the Black Knight shards. So it's not really happening if your arena rank is that low. You are going to get about 10 arena orbs over the course of the event. And usually they're anywhere between 4 to 5 shards estimated value. So you're getting about 40 to 50 shards here. I'm estimating about 134 shards here. For if you're in this arena rank payout and you do everything else that you need to do. So this is like a 3.5 star, which is pretty typical for these sorts of events. Now, if you're ranking in the top 50, you are going to get about 13.5 orbs. And again, using some of the similar numbers here, which is about 5 estimated value of the orb, you're going to get about 153 shards. This is again, it's only like 20 shards more than this. So you're still not getting the 4-star. The main point of why I wanted to show this off is that the arena ranks don't make a significant amount of difference. Like whether you're top 500 or whether you're top 50, yeah, it's 20-ish more shards, but it's not really a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, because you're going to be having to wait for that pass to get that 4-star anyways, free to play anyways. In terms of the reasonable shards though, reasonable points for this event, though, if you're in the top 50 plus, you'll get to about 65,000. And again, this does not include the free claim. So it's pretty close to the 70K that you need for the Black Knight shards. So if it's 500 daily for the free claim, you're going to be just shy of this, which means that, okay, you might need to be in the top 20 then if you want to get the Black Knight shards. You do need to score pretty well to pass the line on the Black Knight shards, and assuming that everything else is correct with the web milestone. So again, I wouldn't go into this event assuming you're going to get the Black Knight shards, but if we do make it there, then that's just the bonus and the the extra good stuff, I suppose, related to that. Now, some final notes for this event: about 80 shards of Cosmic Ghost Rider, likely from the milestone. I mentioned this early on. I just wanted to recap this. Black Knight shards look unlikely in the milestones unless you're a top arena scorer. Expect a 3 to 3.5 star unlock. Gone are the days of 4-star free-to-play unlocks due to the showcase events, etc. They're trying to monetize this a little bit more. And the above is based on Gwenum's payout, but I have heard from other creators that this is likely to be the arena rank payout structure. So it's probably going to be the same. The events honestly looks like a copy and paste. Actually, I could just show you really quickly because I had it here. This was the Gwenum event. Into the Gwenum verse, and 105 Gwenum shards, some in the whale stones. You could just see how so, using this, the free claims are probably going to be 500 frags daily, which means you might get a little bit more shards, actually, because if it's entirely fragment based, then you might pick up an extra orb or 2. But the numbers are pretty much the same. You can see the war battles here, 24K. Basically just copy and pasted and ripped off the event. So there you go. That is the Cosmic Ghost Rider Eternal Vengeance event math for you. Hopefully that helps. And that's going to be going live on Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. And if there's any major changes, then I'll be sure to mention that on my Discord server. So make sure you remember there, and that way you can keep up to date fully. I won't be doing a separate update video on this unless it's completely necessary. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.